Elizabeth II Charles, Prince of Wales Elizabeth II Boris Johnson Dominic Raab Elizabeth II the Lord McFall of Alcluith, Sir Lindsay Hoyle Sir Keir Starmer Supreme Court the Lord Reid the Lord Hodge the Secretary of State for Defence, also referred to as the Defence Secretary, is a Secretary of State in the Government of the United Kingdom, with overall responsibility for the business of the Ministry of Defence. The incumbent is a member of the Cabinet of the United Kingdom, sixth in the ministerial ranking. The post of Secretary of State for Defence was created on 1 April 1964, replacing the positions of Minister of Defence, First Lord of the Admiralty, Secretary of State for War and Secretary of State for Air, while the individual officers of the British Armed Forces were abolished and their functions transferred to the Ministry of Defence. In 1997, Michael Portillo was filling this post at the time of the Portillo moment. In 2019, Penny Mordaunt became the UK's first female Defence Secretary. The post holder is supported by the other ministers in the Defence Ministerial team. The corresponding Shadow Minister is the Shadow Secretary of State for Defence. The current Secretary of State for Defence is Ben Wallace MP, since his appointment by Prime Minister Boris Johnson in July 2019. Corresponding to what is generally known as a Defence Minister in many other countries, the Defence Secretary's remit includes the position of Minister for Coordination of Defence was a British cabinet-level position, established in 1936 to oversee and coordinate the rearmament of Britain's defences. It was established by the Prime Minister, Stanley Baldwin, in response to criticism that Britain's armed forces were under strength compared to those of Nazi Germany. When the Second World War broke out, the new Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain formed a small war cabinet, and it was expected that the minister would serve as a spokesperson for the three service ministers, the Secretary of State for War, the First Lord of the Admiralty, and the Secretary of State for Air. However, political considerations resulted in all three posts being included in the cabinet, and this role proved increasingly redundant. In April 1940, the position was formally wound up and the functions transferred to other ministers. The post of Minister of Defence was responsible for coordination of defence and security from its creation in 1940 until its abolition in 1964. The post was a cabinet-level post and generally ranked above the three service ministers, some of whom, however, continued to also serve in cabinet. On his appointment as Prime Minister in May 1940, Winston Churchill created for himself the new post of Minister of Defence. The post was created in response to previous criticism that there had been no clear single minister in charge of the prosecution of World War II. In 1946, the post became the only cabinet-level post representing the military, with the three service ministers, the Secretary of State for War, the First Lord of the Admiralty, and the Secretary of State for Air, now formally subordinated to the Minister of Defence. The post was created in 1964 as successor to the posts of Minister for Coordination of Defence and Minister of Defence. It replaced the positions of First Lord of the Admiralty, Secretary of State for War and Secretary of State for Air. As the Admiralty, War Office and Air Ministry were merged into the Ministry of Defence. Incumbent's length of term last updated the 28th of September 2021.